So the Biden administration is changing course on the new infrastructure package, and some of you may qualify to receive a bonus payment from the IRS. And that comes as unemployed Americans are urging lawmakers to pass another fourth stimulus bill. What are your thoughts on this, everybody? Do our politicians in Congress need to pass a fourth stimulus bill and a fourth stimulus check? Tell me your thoughts on this in the comments below. And folks, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and family. On this channel, I always provide you with the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check news. It means a lot to me if you guys can subscribe to my channel.
So long, we kind of take it for granted. So let me say a word about Social Security. When Social Security was developed in the 30s, its goal was to cut down on senior poverty. And when it was developed, 50% of seniors lived in poverty. Today, poverty among seniors is too high, but that number is 10%. Now, according to multiple sources, early tax filers may get a treat this year. If you filed your tax for 2020, you could be getting one of the bonus checks or plus-up payments the IRS distributed in the past 2 weeks. The IRS stated in a press release that you may also be due to receive your third EIP payments this week, as the IRS has been sending payments for the month of April. And the press release states that a seventh batch of nearly 2 million economic impact payments from the American Rescue Plan began processing April 23rd, with an official payment date of April 28th. And some people may have seen the money in their account marked as pending prior to April 28th. But the IRS says these funds total $4.3 billion across nearly 2 million payments.
Well, when it comes to infrastructure, it's no surprise we are now very far apart. We were pretty close when we met with President Biden in the White House. So one of two things has happened. Either he has changed his mind, or Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi have overridden what the president told us.
Refund. The IRS said on Friday that it will begin issuing tax refunds this week to eligible taxpayers who filed the 2020 tax returns in February and paid income taxes on all of their unemployment benefits. A portion of jobless benefits was excluded from taxable income under President Joe Biden's American Rescue Plan. The change took place roughly a month after the IRS began accepting tax returns, February 12th, and before many early filers would have been able to take advantage of the new generous tax break. But after a review, some people could see a tax refund, a reduced balance for taxes due or no change to their tax situation. Now, taxpayers who have not yet filed a tax return should pay attention to new rules relating to jobless benefits, and the IRS says to follow the guidance for Forms 1040, which details how to exclude unemployment compensation. The IRS will make corrections automatically for those early filers.
So we can continue to negotiate. Go ahead, Ouija.
If the infrastructure bill doesn't get any bipartisan support, is the White House concerned at all about it impacting other areas you're seeking compromise, police reform being one of those areas? And I ask because Mitch McConnell said a couple of weeks ago, 100% of our focus is on stopping the new administration, so it doesn't seem like they're going to be coming to the table in any real way on a lot of these issues that you guys want.
Well, first I would say on police reform, there are ongoing negotiations that both Senator Booker, Senator Scott, and Congresswoman Bass have all conveyed are making progress, and they're encouraged by the tone and tenor of those conversations. That's a good sign. I talked earlier about how the president is going to be signing a bipartisan piece of legislation into law later this afternoon. Senator Murkowski and Senator Young will be here. There are a range of opportunities to work together in a bipartisan way, including on the Frontiers Act that has since been renamed, but you know the one I'm talking about. So, look, I would say that our view is that investing in our nation's infrastructure, preparing our workforce to be more competitive in the global community to compete with China is something where there should be bipartisan support. We've put forward a good faith proposal. It's now the ball is in their court. But as it relates to your question about Senator McConnell and what impact his agenda will have, you know, our view is that it's really a test for Republican senators.
The IRS will tackle tax returns for single individuals. That group would include tax returns that do not claim children as dependents or do not claim any refundable tax credits. The next phase will include more complex tax returns involving married couples filing jointly. The IRS anticipates it will take through the end of summer to review and correct these returns. Taxpayers who did provide bank account information on the 2020 tax returns will receive their money via direct deposit. Otherwise, a paper check will be mailed to the address on record. the waiver for jobless benefits applies to households earning up to $150,000. If your AGI is $150,000 or more, you cannot exclude any unemployment compensation. The IRS noted that it's important to understand that the first $10,200 limit is the amount of money that can be excluded from taxable income, but a growing number of states want to end them sooner, in part because of mounting complaints from employers who cannot fill job vacancies because they say overly generous federal unemployment benefits are keeping would-be workers at home. Everybody, some 18 states are opting out of federal unemployment benefit programs. The states, which all have Republican governors, include Alaska, Alabama, Arkansas, and Georgia, just to name a few. And leader Mitch McConnell even told reporters last week, "We have flooded the zone with checks that I'm sure everybody loves to get, and also enhance unemployment." Some economists say that pulling the plug on federal unemployment benefit programs, which were originally enacted under the CARES Act in April 2020, when some 23 million Americans were out of work, will encourage more Americans to seek out employment opportunities. Almost 2 million Americans will lose their unemployment benefits early as a result of states' decisions to cut off federal aid to workers. President Biden acknowledged that some employers are having trouble filling jobs. That's when he spoke about the jobs report last week. But when Joe Biden was asked if enhanced unemployment benefits kept some workers from returning to work, he said no, nothing measurable. Some economists say that pulling the plug on federal unemployment benefit programs, which were originally enacted under the CARES Act in April 2020, will encourage more Americans to seek out employment opportunities. About 2 million Americans will lose unemployment benefits. Everybody, employers in those 18 states will not have to raise wages to compete with unemployment benefits that in some cases exceed their state's minimum wage. Last month, the United States added 266,000 jobs, far below the 1 million jobs that economists were forecasting. Meanwhile, there are more than 8 million unfilled positions in the United States, according to the Department of Labor. But initial jobless claims dropped to a crisis low of 473,000 last week. In addition, everybody, a bill proposed by Senator Ron Wyden and Michael Bennet would broadly reform the U.S. unemployment system.
Of all of the McDonald's across this country, 95% of McDonald's locations are franchises. And so we're not buying it and we're not falling for it. And I'm here to tell McDonald's directly that you're not going to do this as a PR effort, and you're not going to trick us into thinking that you're raising your minimum wage to $15 an hour for all your workers when you're only doing it for 5%. The United States Congress is not being tricked or duped into thinking that they have raised.
Be sure to subscribe to my channel, everybody, and give this video a like.